The top 5 non-sequiturs in the Agile space. Today's 5-minute short. Hi, I'm Joshua Barnes, and I'm joined by Al Shalloway. And first off, what is a non-sequitur? Well, I've actually got up Wikipedia, and according to Wikipedia, it is something said that because of its apparent lack of meaning relative to what preceded it, seems absurd to the point of being humorous or confusing. So, Al, let's have you relate that back to what are your top 5 non sequiturs that we've seen sort of out in the Agile space?
Well, I got to admit, I don't think I have any. I think what I came up with is 5 oxymoronic statements, but I'm going to use those instead. Because there's a similarity between the two. Oxymoronic statement is two things that contradict each other but make a point. Anyway, so this is what I have, non sequiturs or oxymoronic. Number 5, that our most popular Agile method is immutable. I think that's kind of funny. I'll leave you to figure out which is the thing I'm talking about. But there's a reason it is, and these I guess oxymoronic statements or non sequiturs give us a symptom of something. There's a lesson in all of these, which is, of course, it's immutable because the philosophy is you have to have a set place to come from, so impediments get exposed, and then you could figure out what to do. It underscores the idea that maybe flexibility in figuring out problems would be a good idea, but then you must understand what's going on. Then you must understand the universal principles that are present. And maybe that's a non sequitur, that to believe that Agile, because it's Agile, is that we can't figure out what those principles are. Oh, so maybe I'll turn this into both. Anyway, that's my number 5. My number 4, scaling Agile. Why? Because what works at the team may not work at the whole. Agile may be good, but so what? That's like working in a team. How do you know it's going to work and expand? The idea of scaling something that works at the team. Oh, why do I think Agile has to do with the team? Oh, just because the Agile Manifesto and its 12 principles mention the team 17 times, whereas any other noun only gets mentioned like a couple of times, including the customer, business. Managers are left out completely. So I would say scaling Agile is kind of a weird thing. Now, you can do Agile at scale. That's a different thing. That means you're doing Agile at a big place. That makes sense. Could a company be Agile? Absolutely. Will that require Agile at scale? Absolutely. Does it mean they started out at a team and expanded it? Well, maybe not. In fact, I've even written a post that says getting a successful team can actually work against you trying to get Agile at scale, because the way a lot of people do it is they get people from across the organization, put them in a team. Oh, that works wonderful. They don't notice they actually impacted everybody they took these people from who had special skills to enable them to become cross-functional. Okay, number 3. Weighted job first. We talked about this. Weighted shortest job first on features and epics, where the features and epics are not releasable on their own. Or, as an epic, contain too much, if you're in safe, too much to release. Weighted shortest job first is about the value of the release. So if you have a feature that by itself is not releasable, it doesn't have a value in and of itself to figure out cost of delay. If it's an epic, you would deliver something before then. Okay, number 2. Our highest priority is to satisfy the customer through early and continuous delivery of valuable software. Oh, I guess this means Agile doesn't work unless software is involved. That doesn't make any sense. I'm sorry. And you know where I pulled that from. But I'm going to pull number 1 from maybe the biggest one of all in my mind. Number 1.
Do you need a drum roll?
Yeah. We are uncovering better ways. Now, why do I call this a non sequitur? This is the first opening lines of the Agile Manifesto. Oh, we're uncovering better ways. But 21 years ago, what we uncovered, we're still using that to define what Agile is. That seems, now that's oxymoron again. Sorry, I got you 5 oxymoronic statements today. I'll have to think about that.
Well, I updated the banner on here, Alpha.
Oh, good. I appreciate that. Now, I'm not saying the Agile Manifesto is a bad thing. Obviously, it shifted the whole course of the world. But let's not pretend we're Agile if we're holding on to something said 21 years ago in something that I don't know when you say the computer life started, you could say in the 50s, you could say when the PC came out in the 80s, But even in the 50s, that's like 20 out of 70 years. We got to look at another thing. And I really do believe that. And I think a lot of nonsense out there is because we don't have a solid foundation. And I think what we really mean to be doing is learning. And if
Right.
you learn, you go past what you knew. And one of my favorite lines from Epictetus is, "You can't learn what you think you know." And a close second is Mark Twain's, "It ain't what you don't know that gets you into trouble. It's what you know that ain't so that gets you into trouble." I think Will Rogers said something like that. In fact, I might be quoting Will Rogers. Anyway, that's as good as I can do. Sorry, I'll have to think of non sequiturs now. Now you got me bugged. But I hope you guys found this useful. Just trying to make you think. Look through the lack of logic and don't assume what looks like logic is.
All right. Thanks for attending or watching this on replay. If you have anything to add, please post a comment on LinkedIn, and we will see you in our next 5-minute short.
Take care.